2.1, we talked about all the different symbols that we use to help name geometric figures. So if we quickly think for a split second, if I put something, this is not on your notes, just watch. If I do this, what type of geometric figure are we talking about? A line. If I do this, what type of geometric figure are we talking about? Line segment. And if I do this, we're talking about array, right? So we use, well, I mean, you have to be able to name one of these things. So you might have to put that as an answer, right? So we use symbols in geometry to represent things, to make our lives easy so we can be lazy when writing things. Well, the same thing applies to when we start talking about what we can do to these geometric figures. So today, we're going to talk about, well, let's look at line segments. And what can we do with line segments? Well, we can measure line segments. How do we measure things? We use a ruler, right? And so what the ruler postulate says, which is very basic, is that the points on a line can be matched 1-to-1 with the real numbers. Okay, so the points on a line can be matched 1-to-1 with the real numbers, is your ruler postulate. So if you think about it, a ruler has what on it? A whole bunch of numbers, right? So technically, your ruler is kind of like a real number line. On your ruler, you've got a whole bunch of tick marks that represent those numbers. And each of those numbers we are going to call a coordinate. So for your coordinate definition, please write the real number. Misty girls in the middle. That corresponds to the point. Okay, so your coordinate is the real number that corresponds to the point. So for example, if I were going to measure, let's say, the length of this box with a ruler, the endpoints of that line segment are here and here. And then if I put my ruler, not that this is going to be long enough, if I put my ruler up here, the number that is associated with that dot would be the coordinates. So right now my number there is 0. If I shifted my ruler over here, now my coordinate is 9. Now it's 10. Now it's 11. Right? So whatever your number is considered your coordinate. So what are we really doing when we're measuring something? We're actually finding the distance of it. So your distance is the absolute value of the differences of the coordinates of A and B. And we're just using A and B as generic point names. So just like we went over, we had all our different symbols. We had AB, we had a line, AB with a line segment, AB with array. So all of those different symbols stand for something. Well, when we're dealing with distance, this is where it gets a little bit confusing. We're going to add a new symbolic representation. And I'm just going to put an AB with nothing above it. Okay, so let's make a little note of that. There is no symbol above. So whenever we see two letters with nothing above those two letters, what the book And what I am asking for, or what you are going to show me, is this is talking about the distance, or the length from point A to point B. Okay? Or what the length of line segment AB is. Okay? So, if we see just AB or just CD or just BF, whatever the two letters are, with nothing above, then we're looking for the distance. My answer should be some number. Okay? All right. Is everybody good? Get rid of that. So when we do our measuring, taking a look at your ruler, we have inches on one side. Label this side as your inches on your notes. And the other side is your centimeters and millimeters. Which is easiest to measure with? Centimeters is a lot easier. The rest of the world uses metric, but we don't for some reason. We use our English units. So when we're measuring something in inches, how many marks, tick marks, are there between 0 and 1 inches? It is a lot. Nope, that's centimeters. I think it's centimeters. 8, well, I don't know. Do these have 8 or do they have 16? They probably have 16, right? They have little ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 16. So every tick mark is 1/16. So if you can draw an arrow to that first tick mark, that's 1/16. The next tick mark would be 2/16. And what does 2/16 reduce to? 1/8. The next line would be 3/16, then 4/16, which reduces to 1/4. Then 5/16, then 6/16, which reduces to 3/8, and so forth. Okay? So when you're doing inches, it's a little bit more complicated because you have to think about it as 16ths. When we come over to millimeters and centimeters, there are 10, right? So the first line here is 1/10 of a fraction, which really is just 0.1, right? So the next line would be 0.2. The third line would be 0.3. The fourth line would be 0.4. So that's why it's a lot easier to do things in centimeters. So let's see if you can measure something in inches and centimeters. So getting your ruler, we're going to measure this toothbrush. Oh, we're not there yet. We have to do this yet. Sorry. Ignore me. This ruler is not made to scale, so don't try putting your ruler up next to it. It's not the same size as your ruler. What would be the length of line segment ST? How many centimeters? Ladies? Now be careful. Is it starting at 0? It's not starting at 0. It's starting at 2. So from 2 to 3 would be 1 centimeter. 3 to 4 would be 2 centimeters. 4 to 5 would be 3. And try to be as precise as you can. I know it might be harder to see on your paper. That's crossing at 0.4. So this is how we're going to write our answer. ST is equal to 3.4 centimeters. So what I'm saying is the length of line segment ST. That's what this whole thing is in words. If I had to write this symbol in words, I would say the length of line segment ST is equal to 3.4 centimeters. Okay? All right, now get your rulers in hand. Let's go down to this toothbrush. Now this is where we're going to go from, so we're all measuring the same thing. We're going to go from this corner right here down to this corner down there. See if you can measure it in both inches as precisely as you can and centimeters. right, what'd you get for inches? Well, remember inches are in sixteenths. So what does the second line represent as a fraction, Brianna?
2 1/8.
Yes. Because remember it's 2/16, which reduces to 1/8. And then you can either write out inches, or does anybody remember what the symbols for inches is? Two little.
Oh, wait,
Well, you could do IN, or you could do like the double tick marks up here, the double prime signs. How many centimeters did you guys get? 5.4 or 5, depending on where you were. And you can use cm for centimeters. If you put 5.4, you're fine. Okay? All right, flip on to the back. So the whole front side was talking about actual physical measurements of line segments. So now what we're going to talk about is something that's called segment addition, which is just as easy as it sounds, adding segments together. So your segment addition rule states the following. If AB plus BC equals AC, then B is between A and C. So if the length of AB plus the length of AC is equal to the length of AC, then B is between AC. So if we think about it this way, if the end of my fingertip over here is point A, and the end of this fingertip is point C, and try to get my nose in between them. My nose is point B, and if B is between A and C, then the distance from A to B plus B to C should equal fingertip to fingertip, right? Yeah, that's your segment addition. So diagram-wise, let's make a nice big long line segment. Put A on the left, C on the right. Put B somewhere in between. And let's just throw some quick examples in there. If A to B was 6, and B to C was, let's say, 10. It's bad looking 0. What will be the length from A to C? 16, right? This plus this should equal the whole. That's segment addition. You're adding segments together to get a whole segment length. Okay? So if we look at the next two examples, is everybody good? What would be the length of MP? 23, right? 23. How did we get that? We did 5 plus 18.
We did the math.
We did the math. Okay? Questions with that one? If I had to do it backwards, here the whole is 36. This part is 21. How would I figure out the other part? Subtract them. So GH would be equal to, is that 15? How did we get that? We did 36 minus 21. We got 15. Okay? So problems 6 through 11 are problems like this example and the last one. Would you be able to do that on your homework? Yeah? Okay. All right. So we've got segment addition. The last thing we have to cover is what we call congruent segments. So congruent segments are line segments that have the same length. So line segments that have the same length. so labeling wise, let's make one line segment, make that AB. Directly below, make a line segment CD that appears to have the same length. And what we use in the geometry world to show congruency is we put little tick marks on the segments, like this. So if anywhere in your diagrams you see little tick marks on the segments, that means that they have the same measure, or the same length. Alright. Let's jump to the last example. Since we're short on time, we only have 4 minutes left. This one's pretty easy. It's just counting units. So let's do this last one. It says in the diagram we've got collinear points. From V to Z is 62 units. From X to Z is 30. And it's telling me that these all have equal lengths, which means these 3 segments are congruent. So I'm going to put little tick marks there to remind me of that. So now let's start here at this little section. If X to Z is 30, that means this plus this needs to equal 30. And if this and this needs to be the same, what do they both need to be? 15. Good. So I'm going to put a little 15 at XY and a 15 at YZ. Well, up here it told us that WX is also the same length, so that would also be 15. So now how can I figure out what the rest of V to W would be? Whole thing 62 minus 45. Perfect, because 15 3 times is 45. So to get this, we're going to do 62 minus 45, which would get us, what is that, 17? So let's fill in the answers. What's the length from W to X? 15. What's the length from V to X? 17 plus 15, so what is that? 32. V to W, 17. W to Y. W to Y. 30, 2 15s, right? So you have a problem very similar to that with 21 through 26. Okay, so your homework should not be too crazy for you guys to complete